Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I know it's been a minute since I've been here. I apologise, but every time I've come to sit and do a video or even think about doing a video, I've just kind of been like, do I really want to do it? Can I really be bothered? Am I feeling happy enough to not bring you a really negative video? And more often than not, the answer has been no. Or I've tried to film on a couple of occasions and then just gone, this isn't working, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm here, I have my tea, and you know what that means, live update time. Feeling a lot better, but I'm going to talk you through all of this anyway. I'm going to put this down before I tip it all over myself. Obviously, I have had a bit of time off from YouTube, and have I enjoyed it? I guess so, I think so. It's been a bit of a weird one because I've been a bit sad, I've been a bit busy, I've been a bit preoccupied, I've had things going on. As I said, I'm feeling a bit more positive. I just wanted to give you a bit of an update as to what I've been doing or up to or anything like that. I am now 24 years old. It was my birthday in May and I had a really good birthday, but again I'll go into that. I can't quite remember when I uploaded my last video, but I hate it. I hate that video primarily because I look so fat and blobby and like a hippo in that video. I just feel like you can really see it in my face, so we have a new angle today. You can't see no double chins, I hope. She says as she's editing this and sees like the double chins. I honestly can't believe how gross and chubby I looked in the video, which is understandable I guess, considering how upset I was and saying I was lonely and blah blah blah, and I was kind of filling my time with eating food. I still do that, and I have done my whole life actually. I think it just depends what sort of mindset I'm in as to whether or not that bothers me. When it doesn't bother me, I feel attractive and I feel sexy and I can eat whatever I want, it doesn't really matter. If I'm not in a good mindset, I am disgusting, I am repulsive, I shouldn't be eating these things, but I'm going to eat them because I'm trying to make myself feel better. I don't want to see anyone, I don't want them to see me naked, I just want to be left alone, I want to wear baggy t-shirts, and nothing really changes. The only thing that changes really is my mindset, and when I'm in a good mindset things are great, when I'm not things are not so great. But I try and ignore it, and I actually found that what I do is I make fun of myself a lot and I laugh about things. So I will pick at myself but laugh about it. But Dan and I had a bit of a sit down, and he kind of got it out of me that that is actually me being serious, but I kind of put it out there as a joke, but that is actually how I feel. And I didn't realise how much I'd do it until my boyfriend actually pointed out how many times I was doing these, or he'd let me know as soon as I said something negative about myself. And I don't know if I've done this my whole life. I don't know. I don't really take offence to anything that I say about myself. Like if I call myself chunky, I don't take that offensively. I don't care. If someone else said it, then maybe I would be a little bit hurt and a little bit sad. But I don't know, it's just one of those weird things. So that's what I've been dealing with, I guess. And on days where I can do my makeup how I want to, i.e. when I'm not at work, and I can do like full glam and I can have lashes and I can do my hair all nice, then I feel good. My hands are a little bit gross at the minute because I am due to go to a nail appointment today, so that is kind of the last thing which should help make me feel a little bit better about myself. And I also desperately want to go shopping and get some new clothes because I feel like I've been wearing the same clothes over and over and over and over and over again, and I'm bored of my look. So on the topic of self-image and things like that, I went to go get my hair cut. Hopefully it looks a little bit healthier than it did in the previous video, albeit, you know, it needs dyeing, but hey ho. I went to Tony & Guy to go and get this cut, and I got my angled bob, well, my grown out angled bob levelled out, so I'm now equal both sides, and because it needed to be levelled out I had quite a lot cut off the one side, and yeah, this is what I'm left with. I kind of have like a big clump of short hair here which is a little bit odd, and it looks very odd when it's straightened. So if you see me, quite often I'll have it curled, and I haven't been posting as many Instagram selfies or anything like that because I'm quite conscious of this bit here. I don't really know what happened there, but never mind, it will grow, and I'm still trying to get it as long as I can, so we shall see. It's going to take years, but it'd be nice one day to just have really long hair, and then I will get it super duper long and I'll be like, I hate it, give me an angled bob. But yeah, so feeling better about my hair and sorting nails out today, and yeah, I don't feel too unattractive today, so that's nice. I guess the things that have been taking up quite a bit of my time over the past few months has been Darcy. She is the littlest one out of my 2 English bulldogs. She suffers a lot with her eyes. We've had several issues with her eyes, whether that be cherry eye or ingrown eyelashes, or what else did we have? Oh, she gets a lot of swelling around her eye, which is linked to stress and allergies, I believe, and there has to be some other triggers in there as well. But basically ever since I've had her from a puppy, I have been to the vets a lot with her, and it's nothing to do with her breathing or anything like that. It's literally just her eyes. She suffers a lot, bless her, to the point where she's just scratching and scratching and scratching at her eyes, and she gives herself ulcers. She just ends up being in her cone for weeks, and yeah, back and forth to the vets, having a mess with her eyes. I hope it doesn't sound selfish, but it makes me so stressed out because I see her miserable trying to get at her eyes. She's just fed up, she's frustrated, she can't sleep properly overnight because she's got to sleep with her cone on. When we took her on holiday, again she had to have a cone on most of the time. So that played a massive part in the stress that I was having. And also a few months back, the dogs were just not getting on with each other. So they're both 2 years old. I've got Bruno and I've got Darcy. Bruno is 3 weeks older than Darcy, and they've lived happily together for about 1.5 years, and then for the past few months, thankfully it's stopped now, they just hated each other. They had nasty fights. We had days where they had to be separated completely from each other because I couldn't trust them in the same room together. That just kind of like fizzled out. I don't know if that was an age thing, but I had a lot of stress with the dogs. Thankfully, Darcy is getting a little bit better with her eyes. She's on steroids. We still don't really know what the cause of the problem is. I have paid for everything pretty much, like allergy tests. I've spent thousands at the vets. Thankfully we have insurance, but it's due to renew soon, so I just kind of don't want to claim on it at the minute, so that's where a lot of my money is going. But she's starting to feel a bit more relaxed. Her eye is starting to calm down. As her eye is calming down, she is becoming happier. She's beginning to play with her toys, which is just so lovely to see because she's turning back into the dog that I know she is. Albeit a little rascal and steals everything, such as tea towels or the post, or just in general everything she's not supposed to have. If she can get it, she will, and then that will turn into a game by where you must chase her for it, and if you don't chase her for it, she will come and show it you lots and lots of times in the mouth until you look at her and then she'll run off. But yeah, so thankfully that's kind of coming to an end, hopefully. I'm pretty sure it's just to do with sort of the time of year and the seasons, where I think allergies are triggering her issues, because she was fine over the winter and the cold months. So my poor little baby. Other than that, they're both doing absolutely fine. Both 2 years old now. Had both of their birthdays this year already. They're just happy little doggies, and I love them both very, very much. And thankfully we're all friends now and getting along, and that makes my home life much more enjoyable. In terms of my home, I have filmed a few little bits to go into a, can we call them this still? The moving out vlogs. but I don't have enough to make it into a proper video as such. But you may have seen on my Instagram that we finally got around to redecorating the hall, which looks so much better now. It's beautiful. It's the same sort of theme as this room, where it's greys and whites. So this room is grey and white, the hall, the landing, sorry, is grey and white, and then the toilet is grey and white. We've still got the second bedroom to change, because at the minute, I don't know if you remember, but half of that is painted pink. That needs to go, annoyingly, and also the bathroom needs a complete makeover, and once that's done, upstairs will be done. I have no plans to actually do that yet, because I hate doing DIY, but I love the landing. It looks so beautiful, and Dan helps me with it, and we spend hours and hours on it, and it has paid off. It looks gorgeous. In terms of my driving lessons, I had one this morning. I have 2 a week now, so I have one on a Wednesday evening straight after work, and then I have one on a Saturday morning first thing, so I get a little bit of a mix of busier traffic on a Wednesday evening, and then on a Saturday it's a little less busy, but we can kind of get out into where they do the test areas, which obviously is handy because that is where I will have my driving test, and if I can get used to that area that would be a lot better for me. But that's what I'm doing at the minute. I'm on lesson 21. Oh no, I think I had lesson 21 today, and I still get extremely nervous before every lesson. I feel ill. I feel, you know how you get those pre-interview nerves where you just want to be sick and you feel gross and you don't want to do it, and you think of all these excuses in your head to like say why you can't do it and you want to cancel, and all of this goes through my head every single time I have a driving lesson. As soon as I open my eyes, the morning I know I have a driving lesson. So on a Wednesday, for example, as soon as I open my eyes in the morning, I go, oh, I've got a driving lesson today. And it's not because my driving instructor is horrible or she's scary or anything like that. She's lovely and she's so supportive, and she knows that it's such like a confidence knocker for me to be driving and doing things wrong and things like that because of the experience I had with my previous driving instructor years and years ago. So she's very patient with me. I still do like silly little things, like I am rubbish with my left and rights. I don't know, that just never stuck in my brain. I find driving really hard because the way that I learn is to actually make loads and loads and loads of notes, and then I can sit and go through my notes. However, when you're driving, you can't make notes. I kind of have to rely on the notes that my driving instructor makes and have a lot of verbal constructive criticism, I guess, and then I have to try and remember that and work on it and try not to do that stuff again. So I think it's going to take me a while. I've just paid for another 10 lessons, so far I've spent about £800 with this driving instructor. I feel like I'm starting to get somewhere with it now. I'm starting to show a bit of an interest in cars and what cars I think I might like, what the cars would be appropriate for the dogs, because I can't wait to have my freedom and to not depend on anyone. Like, I'm gonna go get my nails done today. I'm gonna have to leave like an hour earlier because I need to go get the bus, and that's the only time that the bus comes. So yeah, the sooner I don't have to do things like that, the better. So yeah, as I was saying, I get super duper nervous and I hate it. I hate that I feel like that. As soon as I start driving, I feel fine. I'm a little bit panicky inside just because it's still a bit scary and it's still a bit, I'm not really sure where I'm going or what I'm doing, and I'm still getting a hang of what I'm doing with my feet. And yeah, I'm glad I went with manual. I know loads of people years ago when I was talking about my driving lessons were like, don't go automatic, go manual, you regret it, blah blah blah. Well, I couldn't actually get hold of a automatic driving instructor because they're all full, but I could get a hold of a manual driving instructor, so I went with her and I kind of stuck with it. And yeah, so I'm not sure how many lessons it's going to take me. If you could give me sort of a rough idea of how many lessons it took you to pass, that would be really helpful. And if you have like the pre-lesson jitters or nerves or anything like that, that would be really helpful too, so I don't feel so alone and so ridiculous. Besides all that, in May it was my boyfriend's 23rd birthday and my 24th birthday. Yes, I am a little bit of a cougar. I know. Trust me, I've heard it all. But anyway, so what did we do for his birthday? We were on holiday for his birthday. We took the dogs on their first ever doggy holiday with us to Wales, where we had like a private hot tub, which was great. Had like a secure garden for the dogs. We were on this big farm and we went to the beach. The dogs got to experience beaches for the first time. We had like stony ones and we had proper sand, and I think they had a really great time. I was worried about the sort of journey there and back because I think it was about 3.5 hours, but they were so well behaved. They were brilliant. They just slept. The only thing that could have made that better was Darcy not having her cone on and not having an irritated eye, so she could have probably enjoyed the whole thing a little bit more. But I appreciate it was probably a little bit stressful for her, so it was probably like adding to her eye issues. But I'm so glad that we had our holiday, and like I said, during that time it was Dan's birthday, and it was a bit difficult because we couldn't do a lot because we couldn't leave the dogs in the property while we went out somewhere, but it was lovely and hopefully he enjoyed it as well. A week later it was my 24th birthday, where in the morning I went to go get my hair cut. Then Dan picked me up and we went to my mum's house. Oh no, we came back here, picked up the dogs, went to my mum's house, and Dan and my mum and sister had thrown me a Moana themed party, as in the Disney film. Yeah, they threw me a Moana party because on holiday, on our Wales trip for Dan's birthday, we watched Moana. I'd seen it before, he hadn't. He kind of fell in love with it, and then ever since we'd been listening to the soundtrack, and yeah, I think that's where that came from. But like, Dan had got a load of decorations. We had inflatable flamingos and palm trees. There were so many little like intricate details that made it so good, and I just couldn't believe that he'd put so much thought into it. Like, he'd gone out, he'd paid for all the decorations and stuff, and I said to him before, because I'd arranged to go over to my mum's and meet my family there to have like a bit of a party type of thing, and I said to him, oh, I really hope they like decorate it and stuff so it's a bit of an event for my birthday, because my family aren't really like that in terms of, I don't think they think of things like that as much as I would if I was throwing them a party. So he was just kind of like, leave it with me. And yeah, I walked into this amazing lounge, well, amazing lounge, amazing decorations all over the lounge. We had a Victoria sponge cake, which is my fave. We also got a chocolate cake for my family in case anyone wanted those. We had like a little buffet spread. We had Moana songs in the background. After that we left the dogs at my mum's, so I gave them lots of goodbye kisses. We went over to Birmingham. We stayed over there for the night. We got some food and then we went to go see Michael McIntyre, so that was really cool. And yeah, it was just a really, really lovely birthday. Can't believe I'm 24. I don't feel like it at all. I feel like I should have achieved so much more in my life at 24. And can you believe I actually thought I was going to be married by the time I was 18 and have a child by the time I was like 20, and here I am, not married, childless. I know I shouldn't think about life like that, I guess, because I still have lots and lots of time, but it kept like hitting me that I was 24 and I'm nowhere near where I thought I was going to be in life, and what am I going to do about it, and what do I need to do about it, and yeah, so I'm trying not to get so into that. And I also kind of think, well, I'm 24 and I still don't know how to drive yet. I still haven't passed a driving test and whatnot, so I know this is me like giving myself deadlines, which you can't really give yourself deadlines for. Yes, I should have learnt to drive as soon as I turned like 17 or whatever, but I didn't want to. I was too busy buying hair extensions and going out. I was just never interested in it. I had a boyfriend at the time who could drive, and I have done ever since actually, so I didn't really care for it as such. Basically, I know I shouldn't give myself these deadlines and I try not to, but hopefully we should have some exciting things happening this year in terms of Dan moving in with me. There's still something that's a bit up in the air, I guess, because it's not yet been decided on when, because there's a few like deciding factors which depend on if and when and I don't know, lots of stuff. So that should hopefully be happening this year. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and we'll see. I am kind of like done with living on my own now. I feel like I'm ready to share the burden. Oh, that man's watching me. I'm so glad I'm dressed. Can you imagine? But anyway, so hopefully this thing's happening this year. If not, okay, we'll see. I don't know. I can't really update you on it because I don't know what's happening yet. But as I said, I'm done with living on my own. I feel like I've done it. I feel like I've had all of these responsibilities that I'm ready to share. I think it's going to take a while to adjust to not living on my own anymore. Just because there's going to be like that's someone else's stuff. It's going to be like Dan's stuff here. And I've got my place for everything and I'm going to have to share it all, which is going to be a little bit weird for me, but we've got plans of changing the spare room and like, I don't know, filling that with wardrobes and stuff and more storage, I guess, and eventually for a little baby's room, but very, very far in the future, annoyingly, because I won't say that. I have been moaning that I have wanted a baby for so long. I think that's more because I'm done with being on my own. I kind of want someone else, and a baby isn't really the way to go if I just want some company, because that's kind of like a lifelong commitment there, and I think that's more than I'm actually wanting right now. So yeah, and I also want to be married before I have children, so there's that little hiccup as well. So I could try and not have a baby, that would be helpful. But yeah, should be some exciting things coming up, but we'll see. I am actually going to have to leave it here because I need to leave the house now and make my commute to go and get pretty nails because they are gross. I've got 3 that have just flown off in the past 2 days, annoyingly, and I need to go get money out and blah blah blah. You don't really care. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm hoping it kind of hasn't been like here, there and everywhere, or like that, all over the place, just because I've been in a little bit of a rush, but I wanted to talk to you and hopefully you enjoyed. And I don't really have any plans in terms of what I'm going to do next, or if I am going to do another one, I don't know. So bear with me, it's very much dependent on how I feel and if I feel positive or negative. But either way, I tend to be more active on my social media, in particular Instagram. So if you want to come and follow me over there, it's the same as my YouTube handle, which is oxlisalouxo, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me, and I really appreciate it given how up and down I've been lately and sad and depressed I've been, and yeah, please know that I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the messages as well because I do read every single one of them and do try to reply to them all. Have a lovely day and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!